Well, welcome. Hello. My name is Alex Eusebio. Down here in Los Angeles in one of the most premier restaurants in the city. And today we're going to make a little demonstration using Gardenburger and how we can incorporate that into some really Latin fusion food. Make it really nice and fun and vegetarian. So today we're going to be making a chile relleno using the Gardenburger black bean and chipotle flavor. So here we have poblano peppers. We have some white rice you can buy at the store, local store. We have some pulled cilantro, some queso fresco, white onion. When cooking with Latin American food, I like using a white onion. It's a lot sweeter and less bitter than your traditional yellow or red onion. So it's definitely a key ingredient. We have some black beans, some dry black beans. We have ours already soaking. If you can't, if you don't have time to make black beans, you can always buy a canned version of black beans. Just make sure that you strain the juice before you use the actual beans. Okay, you want to get all those preservatives out of there and maybe rinse it with some cold water. Some extra virgin olive oil and some salt. Okay. And what we want to do is roast the chiles. So what we decided to use is a poblano chile or other known as pasilla chiles. Okay, so you can just get these at your local grocery store. Pretty inexpensive. So the best way to roast a pepper is, I think, on top of a stove. You can do this at home. Just be very careful you don't burn yourself. We're basically going to turn the heat on to medium, and now we're going to place the chiles right on top of the flame, just like that. Okay, we're going to let it cook for about maybe 30 seconds to 45 seconds on each side, and make sure that it gets nice and charred all around. Okay, if you don't have a gas range at home, a good way to make these is to just pop them in the oven. Once you get a nice consistency and nice and charred around it, it's going to make the pepper a lot easier to peel. Okay, so once you're done, okay, what we're going to do is just basically put them in a different bowl and let them cool off. So now while our rice is cooking, our beans are cooking, what we're going to do is take advantage of this time and we're going to peel the poblanos, okay, or pasillas. So you see it's nice and charred now. So now what's going to, with your fingers, all you need to do is just peel away. Really simple. Now that they're nice and clean, what you want to do is make a slit, okay, right on any side of the pepper. So now you want to clean all these seeds out because these seeds aren't really that edible. Okay, so now to our Gardenburgers. Okay, so here I have some chipotle, black bean and chipotle Gardenburgers. Okay, now I defrosted these. Make sure when you cook them to 160 degrees. Okay, but here I just defrosted them. They're a little cold, which is good. You don't want them sitting out all day. Okay, and I'm going to break them up just like this. So now it's time to cook our Gardenburger black bean chipotle. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil. Again, we don't use butter because obviously this is a vegan dish. Okay, so we want to use extra virgin olive oil to get some of that flavor in there. Okay, so our oil now is nice and hot. So what we're going to do is add some onions. You can now smell those onions, those sweet onions. And once our onions start getting some color to them, okay, we're going to add the Gardenburger and get a nice sear to them. The reason why I decided to go with this particular flavor is because it already has corn, it already has the peppers, and it's making my life, your life, a lot easier. So now, see, nice and seared, nice and colorful. Okay. So total cooking time with the Gardenburger, I would say about 5 minutes. That looks nice and cooked. So now we're going to keep it here, and now we're going to reserve this until we're ready to do our assembly. And that is the fun part. Okay? So now it's fun time. Now we're going to assemble our chile rellenos, okay? So in a clean bowl, what you want to do is get some rice, okay? You get your Gardenburger mixture that you sauteed with some onions. Okay. You're gonna have some black beans, nice and drained. So if you notice, I'm using a slotted spoon. Okay. I'm gonna mix it. At this point, I'm gonna add some cilantro, and I'm just gonna give it a quick chop. And that's perfect. Just a little bit. Okay. Okay. So now we have our mixture. Remember these little guys? Okay. You're gonna just keep them open. You're gonna take a spoon and just spoon them nicely. So we have here our stuffed chiles, okay? And now, for those who prefer to make this dish vegan, don't add the cheese. But those who do eat cheese, I like to top it with a little bit of queso fresco. If you can't find queso fresco, you could use goat cheese. You can use your favorite cheese, okay? And basically, I'm gonna just put it right on top, and I'm gonna put it back into a saute pan. Put this in the oven for 5 minutes or so at 350 or until the cheese gets melted. So now we're gonna pull our chiles, and as you can see, the cheese is melted right above the rice. And you have your Gardenburger black bean chipotle stuffed chile relleno.